Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In this video I want to introduce Tuff Stuff's Alpha Rooftop Tent, the Alpha 2. So when it comes to rooftop tents, I was kind of on the fence about getting one. You know, they're bulky, where do you keep it when you're not using it? You know, there's various different factors that go into effect. Probably the biggest one of all is the cost of these things. They're not cheap. I did have a rooftop tent on an overland trailer that I built a couple of years back. It was the Smittybilt rooftop tent, which was a soft shell tent. That tent was actually really great. The quality of it was really nice. Since it was a soft shell tent, the price point was a lot cheaper than what one of these would be. This is a hard shell. This is the Tuff Stuff Alpha 2. The reason I went with this one is it's just like the Alpha 1, however, it is a little bit smaller and it actually sits on the bed rack of my truck a lot better. This is considered a two-person tent. They say you can do 2 adults and a child, which, you know, my wife and I and my daughter, we should be able to all squeeze in this. So let's take a look at this thing. So my biggest hang-up with purchasing a rooftop tent is simply the price. These things are not cheap, especially the hard shell ones. Anywhere between $2,500 on the cheap end, upwards to $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 on the more expensive end. I've actually seen them more expensive than that even. The soft shells you can get in a little bit cheaper, you know, usually right around that $1,000 mark. I think that's what the Smittybilt one cost me several years back. And they can range in the $1,500 to $2,000 range as well. So really, the main reason I bought this rooftop tent was I did not buy it brand new. I actually found it on Marketplace. It came up that night as I was searching, and this is the rooftop tent that if I was going to get one, this is the one I was going to get. The Tuff Stuff Alpha 2, which is the smaller version of the Alpha 1. It's just perfect for my setup, and I wasn't going to spend $3,000 on it new, but when it came up secondhand and the price was over half off, I couldn't say no. I actually have this tent mounted directly to my RCI rack. You can configure it in this configuration, or you can use the cross beams that come with this. The gentleman that I purchased this from, he was using the cross beams to have it on his vehicle. He actually had it mounted on a Subaru. But I took those cross beams off because I was able to basically drop the bolts right into the bottom of the tent and into the rack itself and bolt it right into the rack. I wanted to do it this way just because it does give those rails that go across are 1 to 2 inches thick, and since I took those off and it gave me like 2 inches of clearance. The way it was going to sit prior to me doing these little bit of modifications, this was not going to fit into my garage the way it was. For those of you not familiar with Tuff Stuff, they make rooftop tents and other accessories. Their rooftop tents, they have various different kinds, but this hard shell one is actually very similar to the iCamper brand. They make the Alpha and then the Alpha 2. Really the only difference in the Alpha and the Alpha 2 is the size. The Alpha is a 4-person tent. The Alpha 2, which we have here, is a 2 to 2.5 person tent. So you can see on the back side here, this is a hard shell rooftop tent. I did have a soft shell in the past, the Smittybilt one, which is a good rooftop tent. However, just the extra hassle of putting that soft top on and off, you know, just a big pain in the butt. This is a lot more convenient and closes up and opens up a lot faster. So you do have a big opening here with an awning. This is your main door, actually your only door, I should say. It comes with a really nice ladder. It's way different than the ladder I had with my soft shell tent. And it does have 2 windows. This one I do not have opened up. You can open this side up if you want. I just don't have it opened up just because it's kind of right here at the back of the truck. And then the other side I do have opened up with the awning poles. I believe they do make an awning for the underside of this tent. I know they definitely make one for the Alpha. I'm not 100% positive on the Alpha 2. I really haven't looked into it. You know, it's definitely a smaller footprint under here, but that'd be something to look into just because we have dogs and that'd be a good place to keep them when we're out camping. Down here they also have the lighting strip, and they have this here and on the opposite side. So you can just plug that into a USB and then you'll have lighting at camp. In the front here you do have 2 shoe bags. You put your shoes in there, sandals, whatever you want to put in there, sunglasses, keys. And then there's another one right there, probably for bigger boots and whatnot. So with that all said, let's go take a look inside. Coming up into the inside of the tent here, like I said, this is a 2 to 2.5 person tent. It's got the insulation on the back portion of it to try to keep the heat in. The mattress that it comes with is about a 2.5-inch mattress, which is a little bit thicker than the one I was used to with the Smittybilt one. And then underneath that, you do have this condensation mat that runs the entire length of the tent as well. Inside here, you do have various pockets as well. So this one, you can put your USB charger in there, and it does have an internal light as well. You just plug it in right there, and then your light strip is right up here. I don't have a USB thing with me right now, so I can't really turn it on. On the roof here, you do have like a, I don't know if you call it a moon roof or a stargazing roof. So that does open up. The rainfly is on right now, so you can't really see out the top of it, but you can take the rainfly off. Inside here, you do have 2 vents. You got a vent here, and then on the opposite side, you have a vent over here. And this just is to help prevent any condensation from forming inside the tent. There's also these gas struts. You have one here, and then you have one on the opposite side. And basically, this is going to help keep this portion up. Also, they do include this bar that you can actually hook right onto here. So if you're in really high winds, that should clip right onto there. Yep, just like that. And then that way, if you have high winds, this isn't going to push this thing down. That'll hold it in place. So why did I buy this rooftop tent? I mean, at the end of the day, I did just get that Gazelle T8 tent, which is a ground tent that is relatively quick to set up. And honestly, we're still going to use the Gazelle T8. When it's me and my family, wife, daughter, dogs, and we're all going, we need a good place to base camp. The Gazelle T8 is awesome. We do have a trip coming up when it's just me and 2 of my buddies. They got their own sleeping arrangements. It's going to be a multi-day trip where every single day we're going to be setting up at a different campsite. So a rooftop tent is actually going to be perfect for that. It is a little bit quicker setup than the Gazelle T8. I'm not super sufficient with it just yet, but I've only opened it up once or twice, and I'm still very much a novice with it. And I can still get it open and close in about 3 minutes or so. And I'm sure with practice that will get better. Speaking of which, let's get this thing closed up. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I'd say it took it down at about 3 minutes or so. That time will get better the more I do it. Like I said, I think it's going to make a great addition to the channel. We're going to go on lots of adventures with it. And if you're new to Trail Expedition, please consider subscribing. It really helps the channel out, and I really do appreciate all the likes and the comments. I try to comment back on every single comment that I get. Thanks for watching.
You